So the second fly is very similar based on that, but we're going for a dry fly. So this is going to be on a lighter hook, same sort of size. We're going for the size 12 again, a B170. So we're going for the lighter hook. Yeah. I swear a lot of the shop bought hares here, Mark, you know, hares dubbing, is nowhere near as nice as that. You won't ever get it as nice as that. So now we've got a lighter hook on, we've got a B170 now. This is a dry fly that is sort of like a deconstructed one. You know, you have like the big red at Draycott, which is very popular. Deconstruct that a bit more, you've got like a Shipman's, haven't you? But this is deconstructed even more. This is, everyone ever fished a Raider? So it's basically, it's the same as that, just dubbing in a rib, basically.
That was Ian Ruff that invented that in the early days.
Right.
It was in Hertfordshire branch.
Was it? Because I'm not sure that I tie it as a correct Raider, but it's very similar to that buzzer. And I've always, whenever I'm dry fly fishing at Draycott, I've always got a red one on, you know. So, obviously I can tie a red one, that's always a good shout, especially Draycott's really good. I like to sort of, again on the dubbing theme, mix my own sort of seals fur colours, and to keep it simple I just do like a 50-50 mix, so that's like a dark olive and claret, which is a nice one. That's a fiery brown and red, which is a nice one. Claret and fiery brown, red and claret, ginger and fiery. So I think just to have one flat colour in a dubbing is great. Sometimes they really like the red, but it's nice to have a mix of colours as well, just to mix things up a bit. So I'll tie a red one. So get some red thread on there. Same as last time. Minimum thread wraps. I just want to keep this quite sparse, and same rib as before. So I just offer this in, the offcut from the last fly, run the thread back to just round the bend a little bit, give it a little stretch just to thin it out a little bit. I think it makes the material stronger as well. It's the same with pearl mylar. You give it a stretch, it sort of lines up the molecules, or it does something to it, makes it stronger. So seals for dubbing. So a lot of people's bane. A lot of people hate dubbing with seal, but it is amazing for dry flies. But what I'm going to be doing, because when I finish this fly, we're going to get the Velcro out and rip it up to rough up the top to help it float, so it's got more surface area. I don't want really long straggly fibres. So to help prevent that, I'm going to tease the dubbing out. I'm going to try and line up the fibres of the dubbing so that they all sort of go in a horizontal plane. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm just going to get as best I can, like that. Then I'm going to cut that in half, and basically you've just shortened the staple of the dubbing. So most of the fibres are a lot shorter than what they originally were. So when I come to rough it up when we finish, we're not going to have so many really long straggly fibres, we just have lots more shorter straggly fibres. So we just, same as before, make this light and airy. The other beauty of seal's fur is if you were to try this with a synthetic dubbing, and you gave it the amount of stick I'm going to give this, you would instantly kill the dubbing, it'd be useless. But seal's fur doesn't taste very nice either. But you can be as rough as you like with seal's fur, and it's bomb-proof, you can't damage it. So I'm literally really going to grind that top section in. So it's just hanging on the thread already. Just grind, so really hard, finger and thumb. You can moisten your finger and thumb if you want. And just making it, grinding it on that thread. Again, no wax again, so I can slide it up and down. So I'm going to slide that up. And once you get your anchor point, we're in control then. We can tease it out. We can create like a yarn and work our way up. want it a little bit fatter than the head here. Because this is a dry fly, we want it to be able to soak up gink and obviously float well. So it's very difficult, actually, if you try and look up on the internet a radar, there's hardly any, there's not any decent pictures of how to tie one, or, I know it's a very simple fly, but again, and there was another pattern, it's like the Boxmore buzzer. You try and find out how to tie a Boxmore buzzer, you can't find it anywhere for love nor money. It's just one of those patterns that, I think it's in a local area, and if you're not in that local area, you'll never know how to tie one.
Ian wrote an article on it for the fly dresser.
What, the Boxmore?
No, the radio.
Did it? I'll be interested to try and find that. I might ask Chris. So again, we've done right up to the eye of the hook. So now I'm going to do our rib again. So wind it the same way.
Not quite so tight.
No, because we want a bit more. We want the gink to be able to soak into this. But this is a brilliant try. I've always got one of these on a Draycott. So there we go. Cut off the excess rib. And the same again, we're just going to dub a thorax on there. A bit bigger, a bit clumpier the thorax now, because in a minute half of it's going to get sort of ripped out with Velcro, so it will thin down a bit. So again, I'm going to just working with me dubbing, getting it all nice and light and airy again before I can apply it to the thread. I always think if you've got clumpy dubbing and you try and put it on the thread, you're basically transferring the clumps straight onto the thread. So again, just grind that top in and then slide it up. Tease off the rest. Always got too much dubbing. Cramming on too much. So your thumbnail comes in handy if you want to just shove it back a little bit. That's it. I'm not going to bother tying the head. I'll just do the same as I did last time. A little bit of varnish on the thread. And finish that in. So you do these in any colour, any size basically. You'd be surprised how easy they are to see as well. You can spot them straight away off. Put it tight. And that is it, as simple as, but very effective, floats really well. So I'll get me Magnum ice cream lolly dubbing rougher out.
You say it absorbs the gink.
Yeah.
Do you ever, whilst you're tying, treat them with silicone?
Yeah, I have done. I've been in a little sort of saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I did quite a lot of fishing with Paul Davison, the guy who invented the Midas, and he was just pre-soak his flies. So sometimes it makes them like float too high, doesn't it? They're so hydrophobic. Literally, they're almost hovering above the water. They're that, And you can see where we've shortened the staple length of the dubbing. We haven't got any really long straggly fibres anywhere. It's all just a nice compact, scruffy little buzzer sort of a thing. So there you go.